Community Stadium in Southport, there will be a period of silence as we remember the 96 Liverpool supporters who lost their lives at Hillsborough back on the 15th of April 1989. The period of silence will begin and end on the referee's whistle. Impeccably observed period of silence. The noise you could hear, by the way, was the clanking of seats because the problem was there, Graham, nobody actually bothered to announce that there was going to be
and obviously out of pure respect, we all wanted to stand up for that. So if you heard some background noise, it was purely the banging of seats, but as Darren mentioned there, it was perfectly executed, the period of silence, as you would expect here at Southport.
We're nearly ready to go. The mini derby, Everton against Liverpool under 23s, and we say this before any derby that you and I watch, 18s, reserves, 23s, call it what you will. If you're up against Liverpool, there's always something on it.
Well, you'd like to think so, and I'm sure David Unsworth, who's played in plenty himself, and John Ebrell, manager and assistant manager of this under 23 side, will drum that into the players and make sure that perhaps we'll see a few tackles. We didn't see too many in the first team game a couple of weeks ago, did we?
No.
It'd be nice to see a couple of challenges flying around.
A Merseyside derby with no yellow cards and no goals. Let's hope this is better. Here's David Tennant stretching the Liverpool defence with his pace early doors. He's forced into a bit of a cul-de-sac though, but he wins himself a throw-in on this near side. Matty Foles take it and chucks it back to Conor Grant. Back to Matty Foles again. Infield to Alex Denny, one of the three Everton players who played for the first team earlier this season in Cyprus in the Europa League. There's another one challenging Fraser Hornby. Up he goes, wins a nice header, knocks it down to Alex Denny again. Nathaniel Markello, the right back on the far side, picks it up. Back in field to Alex Denny. Fraser Hornby flicks it on, but to nobody in particular. And it runs all the way through to Dan Ward, who has played for Liverpool's first team, by the way. Dominic Solanke and Ben Woodburn are the standout names in the Liverpool side. Did you ever play in the reserve derby? I suppose you did, Graham, coming back from injury. Most players did at one point.
Do you know what I'm trying to think, Darren, and I can't recall it, to be totally honest with you, but like you say, any derby that you play on, red v blues, what side you're playing for, it's going to be competitive. There's one goal to win the game, it's as simple as that.
It's a shame, isn't it, there's not more seniors involved in the what is effectively the reserve derby, the mini derby as we know.
It is, Darren, and it's been a bugbear of mine for years now. As much as I appreciate that, you know, the Premier League 2 is a decent league and what have you, I just can't for the life of me understand how senior players who don't play on a regular basis.
Josh Bowler goes for goal and hits the post. Goodness me, lovely effort from Josh Bowler. Well, I didn't cut you off when you strike.
No.
I didn't think it was a shot on.
No, quite rightly as well. I mean, it didn't look like the goalkeeper was going to have too many difficulties with that, but he did, and it cannoned off the underside of the post, and fortunately, from a Liverpool perspective, out to safety. But no, just to go back to what I was saying, I just don't know how these lads keep fit anymore. And I mean match fit. You know, players on the fringe of the first team who don't play. I was talking to Snots about it this afternoon before we came here, and you'd be expecting to be told you were playing in this game tonight. If you didn't play for the first team on a Saturday, you expected to be involved tonight. In fact, you wanted to be involved,
wouldn't you? Yeah.
So You know, I don't agree with it. I'd much prefer a situation where you go back to playing a reserve league and, you know, there's no restrictions. And it's good for the young players as well to play with senior players, and it helps their development sometimes as well.
Reserve team football must have been better for young players than an under-23 league, surely.
Without any shadow of doubt, Darren. No doubt whatsoever. I don't understand why it's what they're doing, really.
Well, Josh Boland knew what he was doing there a couple of moments ago. It was a fine effort by the young man who was he's in decent form, actually. He had a terrific game against Manchester City at Goodison Park a couple of weeks ago, probably his best game since he joined the football club, and didn't do too badly against West Ham United last week. I say didn't do too badly, no Everton player really emerged with much credit from that. West Ham United soundly beat the Blues by 4-0.
Yeah, well, interestingly to see, like, Josh is predominantly a left-footed player, but he started over on the right-hand side, and that bore fruit for him more than anything, really, because it allowed him the opportunity to cut in from that left-hand side and drill a shot low with his left foot.
Do you expect Josh Boland and Nathan Broadhead on this near side to alternate throughout the evening?
They may well do. I mean, I like young Nathan. I think he's got good technique. I think he's got good attitude. He's got a little bit of devilment about him, which I've seen, and I've seen him a few times, and I think he's a prospect.
He's quick, isn't he?
Yep, he's lively. He's positive when he gets the ball as well. I love to see that in wide men. You know, again, we look at the Premier League, and so many wide men seem to take the easy option these days and just retain possession instead of committing their fullback. So good to see from wide players. David Hennon
goes for goal.
Chance.
Keeper spills it, and Fraser Hornby was following up. He tried to pull out but couldn't do so, and in the process he's injured himself. He's flat down on the floor, and sportingly Conor Masterson, who was on the bench of course for Liverpool at Goodison Park in the Premier League a couple of weeks ago, just prods the ball out of play, and I think Fraser Hornby was trying to pull out, wasn't he, but it was a little bit too late.
Yeah, it's one of those situations. I mean, he's done the right thing, which you'd expect your centre forward to do in Fraser there, and he's gone for the rebound that cannoned off the goalkeeper, but the keeper did well, to be fair to him, and pushed it away, but just the momentum of Fraser's run towards the goalkeeper there meant that they had a collision, but fortunately he's up, and none worse for wear.
Wasn't a bad effort from David Hennon, was it?
Yeah, no, it was a decent shot. It's been a decent start from the Blues.
Yeah, 5 minutes on the clock. Ball's hanging in the air. Lewis Gibson, the skipper for tonight, is underneath it. Matty Foles puts the ball into the main stand here at the Merseyrail Community Stadium. Looking at plans to redevelop the stadium beforehand in the boardroom during a cup of tea and a malted milk.
Always a firm favourite of mine, the old malted milk, Stas.
And it seems to be exciting times for Southport Football Club, which will be great to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm talking to some of the guys behind the scenes here not so long ago, really, and they were scared of getting relegated. But since Kevin Davis has come into the club, he's turned their fortunes round, and their results have certainly picked up, and they're nice and comfortable in a mid-table position now. And as you say, Daz, they've got the redevelopment coming up as well, so
they need to get back into the National League,
yeah,
don't they?
And that's what you really need to do. But I think there's people behind the scenes now that have really got some big plans for Southport in the future.
I'd love to see them back in the Football League one day. Southport Football Club got a lot of time for Southport Football Club, as Lewis Gibson rolls it back to Matthias Hult, right-footed down the right-hand side, flicked on by Fraser Hornby. Now here's Conor Grant. Miscontrols the ball, and Liverpool can bring it away on this near side with Rafa Camacho, another player who was on the first team bench in the Premier League at Goodison Park a couple of weeks ago. Here he is again, Camacho. Little square ball to Curtis Jones, cleared by Angelo Marcello.
I think our back four are going to have their work cut out this evening, because there's certainly some talent going forward in the front three there in Dominic Solanke, Ben Woodburn, that we've heard of as neutrals, but Curtis Jones is a decent player as well. I've seen him a few times, and he's definitely got some ability, so the back four certainly going to have to be on their mettle tonight.
And Liverpool have got 3 players in this starting lineup tonight that were on the bench against Everton in the Premier League a couple of weeks ago. Here's Adam Lewis. Diminutive figure, rolls it back to Nat Phillips, who was the Liverpool captain and the son of Jimmy Phillips. You might have played against him, former
Jimmy
Bolton
Phillips,
Wanderers
yeah,
player.
Absolutely. Good, steady
Yeah.
player, Jimmy.
Yeah. And there's his lad finding Adam Lewis. Spots the run of Curtis Jones and nearly picks him out. Safely gathered by Matthias Hult. Everton looking to end a dismal recent run, by the way. 4 straight defeats for the Toffees.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing little spell for the under-23s after the success of last season. They've had to take a few defeats on the chin. We saw David Unsworth yesterday. Myself and Snods went to support the ladies, Daz, who unfortunately lost in the last minute, heartbreaking really for them to Arsenal 2-1. But we saw Unzi there, and he was saying we've had a bit of a difficult patch, but no better game to turn your fortunes round than the Merseyside derby.
Well, these are no better. Liverpool, they've lost 4 and drawn 1 of their last 5.
Well, you've got to look at the big picture as well. I mean, sometimes these lads, you know, you might have some young players coming in. You know, your senior players might have pushed towards the first team and aren't available to play. So, you know, you can literally go from week to week having 2 totally different sides, and that's the difficulty for the under-23 situation and for David and John themselves to have the continuity week in, week out to work on the team.
Liverpool under-23 coach, a guy called Neil Critchley. I don't know much about him, Graham.
No, nor do I, Daz, to be totally honest with you.
Brand new name on me. Throw in for Everton on this left-hand side. Liverpool technically can still win Premier League 2, even though they've had 4 defeats and 1 draw in the last 5 fixtures. If they win tonight and win their last game, and Arsenal and Leicester City lose their last game, then Liverpool will be crowned champions. So an even bigger incentive for us not to let Liverpool win tonight.
Very much so.
Conor Grant just penalised there. Free kick for Liverpool. Corey Whelan takes it. Phillips sweeps it to that far side to Conor Masterson. Back to Nat Phillips. Brings it forward. There's space for him to run into. Then he tries to switch the play to the left-hand side. It's a good climb. It's cleared eventually by Uzanidis. Nice chest control by Fraser Hornby. A little flick towards David Hennon. He picks it up as well for Everton. Started brightly, David Hennon, but plays a short ball towards Alex Denny. Alex Denny brings down Herbie Kane.
Yeah, no, you know, you've got a few Liverpool players running around the referee here, but the referee's just got to keep a sensible head on.
Yeah.
It's a missed time challenge for Alex Denny, no more than that. It wasn't. It's probably one that looked a little bit worse than it actually was. So I'd like to think the referee give him a stern word and just get on with the game. Otherwise, every single challenge from now on in is going to be a yellow card.
It was the short pass from David Hennon that caused the problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a bobbly pitch. I mean, it's certainly no Goodison Park here, but you've got to be accurate with your passing, and you've got to respect the fact that it's going to be a little bit bobbly. So your first touch and your passing has got to be accurate. And,
he has shown a yellow card.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that. I don't think it was quite necessary, to be honest with you. Perhaps the referee thinks he's going to stamp his authority a little bit on the game so it doesn't get out of hand, but I'm more along the lines of thinking that every single challenge from now on in is going to be pushed by both sets of players to be given a yellow card.
11 minutes on the clock. Camacho, good run from Camacho. Well policed though by Matty Foles. David Hennon finds Fraser Hornby. Back towards Fraser Hornby on this left-hand side. Masterson will get there first for Liverpool, and under pressure from big Fraser Hornby, he slices the clearance into touch.
Yeah, it's good work from Fraser Hornby there. He's a good little layoff. David Hennon put a ball in for him. I mean, Fraser's not the sharpest you've ever seen in your life in terms of speed, but he certainly put the effort in to try and get on the end of the through ball from David Hennon.
Matty Foles takes the throw in. Up goes for that's a great header from Hornby, and it picks out Nathan Broadhead. That's a foul, isn't it? Herbie Kane dragging the shirt off the back of Nathan Broadhead.
Are the rules there to say that if you pull a shirt, it's a yellow card?
Should be, shouldn't it?
Shouldn't it? Well, you know, you can't have it both ways, can you? Not advocated. I don't like seeing players getting booked left, right, and centre. But you know, if you're going to book our player for a slightly mistimed tackle, that's a blatant pull of the shirt. It should be given a yellow card.
I think Nathan Broadhead's going to go for goal here, isn't he?
Yep, I hope so. 25 yards out on the angle.
Here he goes with his right foot. Takes a deflection and wins Everton a corner.
And it's good to see young Nathan putting the ball down there, clearing everybody else out of his way, and having the confidence to take on the free kick. He was a good 25 yards out, but it didn't bother the young man.
No, there was no disguise about it, was there? He said to everybody in this stadium, I'm going for goal here.
Good for him.
Corner kick, Matty Foles with the excellent left foot of his. I hope that's not a commentator's curse, by the way, but he can put a good ball in, Matty Foles, and he has done again. Fraser Hornby couldn't get the touch on it. Konuzanidis will chase it down on the far side, tries to nutmeg George Johnston on the far side and wins Everton a throw-in.
Well, Matty Foles didn't let you down, Darren, in any way there. He out-swinging left-footed ball in, and my first instinct there is that Fraser probably should have done a little bit better with the header. It was a real gilt-edged chance in my book.
He seemed to be higher than everybody else, didn't he?
Yeah.
Nathaniel Markello takes the throw-in, gets it back off Lewis Gibson. I think Hunzi will be reasonably pleased with the start these boys have made.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, Liverpool have, you know, fits and starts have showed a little bit of an attacking threat, but certainly predominantly the chances have come from the Blues of Everton, thankfully.
Certainly looks a better performance this week than the one against West Ham United last week that ended in a 4-0 defeat. Everton, by the way, wind up the Premier League 2 season with a visit to Manchester United on Friday at Old Trafford. A Manchester United team, Diamond, that would have been relegated from Premier League 2 and will finish bottom. Which shows you how much emphasis they place on youth development.
Well, I mean, again, and that just proves my point. You know, if your Man United are getting relegated from Premier League 2,
something's not working.
There's something not right with the whole system, is there?
Liverpool have possession. Lewis Gibson scrapping away, so is Conor Grant, and Alex Denny comes out with the ball and he finds Nathan Broadhead. Little look up for Broadhead, slides it into the channel where Fraser Hornby's waiting. Wanted a free kick off Nat Phillips but doesn't get it. The ball's out of play. It'll be a throw-in for Liverpool. Well, Manchester United are going to finish bottom. They will be relegated from Premier League 2. Manchester City and Tottenham are also in the bottom half. So that just...
There you go.
Ring fence is what you're saying, doesn't it?
Yeah. Say no more.
Nathan Broadhead. It's a great ball to Conor Grant. Lovely ball. Great run by Conor Grant as well. And Nat Phillips just stopped him in his stride. But great awareness from Nathan Broadhead.
Yeah, perfect. That was a nice bit of technique to cut inside. Good awareness to pick out Conor Grant. And it was the weight of the pass that was perfect as well. So everything there in a short space of time was spot on from young Nathan Broadhead.
0-0 at the Merseyrail Community Stadium. We've had just over a quarter of an hour. And Everton are shading it possession-wise. Masterson. Ben Woodburn. Dashing forward on that far side is Johnston. Tries to work it onto his right foot for a cross. Josh Bowler wins a throw-in, or thinks he's won a throw-in for Everton, but he hasn't.
He's stuck to his car. Stuck to his task. Markello there, the right back.
Into the penalty area, Dominic Solanke. Oh, sharp turn, good play by Solanke, but the final delivery thankfully didn't match the approach play. And the best Liverpool can get from that is a throw-in on this right-hand side. New balls, please. Another one for the collection for somebody, one of the residents of Hague Avenue. No, they've thrown it back. There you go. It's back on the pitch.
See, honest bunch us lot up here in Southport, Dad.
They've been Birkdale. You'd never have seen it again. There's been a raffle prize in Birk has 24 hours. There's Solanke again. Back it goes to Whelan, but he gives it away to Nathan Broadhead. Good footwork by Broadhead. Alex Denny rolls it back to Lewis Gibson, but the best Gibson can do is smash it clear and probably gets a little bit lucky that it reaches Josh Bowler.
He probably did actually, but it was a perfect ball in the end. Good option for us on the right hand side here. Poor ball though from Markello.
Yeah. Alex Denny picks it up. And he plays a nice little pass down the right hand side to Markello. Now he's got more time and space. That's a better delivery. Fraser Hornby with a header. It was a good header and it was a good save. Well, he got the first cross wrong, Graham, but not the second.
Yeah, you're quite right. Down the first one disappointed us. The second one did everything but disappoint us. Perfect ball into the box. and Fraser Hornby rises and hits a decent header, but the keeper's equal to it. Dan Ward.
Got some power in the header, didn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad header at all. The ball was floated in more than anything. It didn't have too much pace on it, so Fraser had to kind of inject some kind of power on it. But Dan Ward was equal to it.
Yes, Hornby again, wide to David Hennon on this near side. Hennon flicks it infield towards Conor Grant. Conor Grant gets to the byline. Can he get it into the penalty area? It's a corner kick for Everton, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing from the Blues here.
Yeah, it's been a good spell for us, hasn't it? And especially the last 5 minutes or so, we built up a little bit of a head of steam. Conor Grant on that occasion driving into the box. Left-footed, tries to get his cross in. He goes out for the corner, which we've already seen.
David Hennon seems lively tonight, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of talent, David Hennon. There's no doubt about it. He's got talent. He can sometimes just drift in and out of games, though. That would be my only criticism of him.
He falls, great ball in. Hornby wins it in the air again, but can't direct it goalwards. And Curtis Jones can bring it away for Liverpool under pressure from the hard-working Josh Bowler. And Josh Bowler sticks to his task, and well done, Josh. He wins Everton a throw-in on the far side. Curtis Jones just couldn't shake him off.
No, he couldn't. It was good work from Josh Bowler there, determined to not give it easy for him, for Curtis Jones. And eventually his hard work paid off with a throw-on.
Which Angelo Marcello will take. Back it goes to the Everton right back with a decent ball in. Fraser Hornby, a little bit isolated in the penalty area though, on his own with 4 Liverpool defenders. Gibson plays it back to Matthias Holt. Plenty of familiar faces in and around the director's box here at the Merseyrail Community Stadium. As Nathan Broadhead, there's confidence for you.
Audacious is the word, Daz.
Yes, that's the word, Graham.
I mean, Matthias, who put the ball straight down the middle of Liverpool's back 4 there, and Fraser Hornby, not for the first time this evening, rose the highest, nodded it back, and Nathan Broadhead had tucked inside, chested it down, and as we said, an audacious volley from about 30 yards that the execution wasn't quite right, but I like the thought process.
Absolutely.
I like the confidence of him.
Yeah, Duncan Ferguson's not too far away from us, sitting next to Steve Walsh. Kevin Davis, former Southampton and Bolton player, who of course is the manager of Southport these days, is here. Steve McManaman as well. And our very own Ian Snowden's in there as well.
Former manager of Doncaster Rovers.
Yorkshire legend. Woodburn to Jones, back to Woodburn again. Look at Curtis Jones in plenty of space on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Marcello gets back to cover the cross, and Jones goes back to Woodburn. Good challenge from Josh Bowler. Oh, referee, I'm not sure about that. Free kick for Liverpool.
Soft.
Who's in the driving seat tonight then, yourself or Snods, Graham?
Who do you think? Me, of course. I'm not so sure that fella's worked out what the word work means. Was he down there? Let's have a little look.
He was last time there, he is. He's still there.
Yeah, he's sporting a lovely new haircut today, Daz, as well.
Free kick for Liverpool. There it comes. It's deep towards the back stick, and Fraser Hornby covered.
Oh,
he's given a penalty.
That.
Goodness me.
That's ridiculous.
Francis Jeffers and David Unsworth are roaring their disapproval at the 4th official. And how is that a penalty kick? Even at this level, well, it all goes Liverpool's way.
What I would say is Fraser is the wrong side of him. Yeah. Fraser's the wrong side of the defender, who's obviously gone up for the corner, but it's minimal contact. I mean, it's not stopped at a goal-scoring opportunity.
No, they've both gone for the ball, haven't they?
I mean, that's soft as anything from the referee. That's really, really poor. I'm not so sure we'll get a replay of it, Daz. It would be nice if we could get a replay. We've got a little bit of technology flying around here, so hopefully we'll see a replay at some point. But
Dominic Solanke versus Matthias Holt in the mini derby. 22 minutes on the clock. Slow stride forward from Solanke. It wasn't the best penalty, but it was sufficient to beat Matthias Holt, and Liverpool lead by a goal to 0. And we could have pre-recorded Liverpool's score with a soft penalty before we left Finch Farm, couldn't we? Because it was always going to happen at some point.
Well, Solanke dispatches the penalty. There's a certain amount of arrogance in his run-up, I have to say that. I wouldn't have minded seeing that one missed, but I'm not so sure about the penalty decision, and that can affect the lads as well. That knocks the stuffing out of you a little bit, because we've been the better side in this first 25 or so minutes. And you get a poor decision from a referee like that, and you're straight on the back foot again. But they're going to have to show a bit of character now. Try and get themselves back in the game.
Gibson heads it away. Phillips. Herbie Kane drills a great ball wide to Woodburn. His header is blocked by Markello. It'll be a throw-in for Liverpool. Just having a quick look at the replay to our left-hand side here, Graham. The viewers can't see it, but I'll carry on with the commentary if you want to have a look at the replay as the ball bounces into the arms of
such a bad
Matthias
decision.
Hult.
I mean, as I said, Fraser Hornby is the wrong side. He's the wrong side of the defender. I think it's Masterson actually who peels towards the far post, and Fraser's the wrong side of him, goes for the challenge. There's nothing in it.
Nothing at all.
So poor.
Poor decision from the referee, Mr. Simon Barrow. Well, he was quick enough to book Alex Denny early doors. That should have been our marker for 10. Here's Markello. Everton could do with hitting back quickly here. Get the disappointment behind them, and the good defending by Phillips then, because Fraser Hornby would have been in. There's Herbie Kane. Whelan. Masterson. As you say, Graham, we just can't let that affect us, can we? We've got to get our minds back on the game.
Oh, I mean, it's a terrible decision, and I feel for the boys because they've started the game in a positive fashion. But unfortunately, sometimes you get these poor decisions against you. Now it's a case of, can you show the character and the determination to get yourselves back in the game?
Oh, Herbie Kane goes down under the challenge of David Tennant. Free kick, and it was a free kick. Masterson. To Jones. Outside of the foot to Woodburn. Little flick by Woodburn, doesn't quite come off. It'll be a throw in for Everton, and we can't let these get a head of steam up, can we?
No, I mean, there's some talent, especially in forward areas. I mean, Ben Woodburn's having a difficult time at the moment, so he was certainly a young player who burst onto the scene, both for Liverpool and for Wales. But for some reason, Ben's just had a difficult time. Sometimes it could be second season syndrome, can't it, where you find things aren't quite as fruitful as they were. But Solanke's played first team football. We saw him at Goodison a couple of weeks ago. And Jones has got all the ability in the world. So, as I mentioned earlier, we've just got to keep switched on and just make sure that we don't throw the game away in a space of 5 or 10 minutes on the back of a really poor decision from the referee.
David Hennon. He's penalised now for handball. Kane. To Whelan. Little ball forward to Camacho. In goes Nathan Broadhead, wins it well and comes away with the ball, finds David Hennon. David Hennon can't get the ball out from under his feet. Herbie Kane plays a nice ball wide on this near side to Adam Lewis. Camacho gets the goal side of the defender. It comes off Lewis Gibson, and all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, Liverpool are 2 goals ahead, and nothing is going Everton's way, Graham Stewart.
Well, you can call it unfortunate, which I suppose, you know, for Lewis Gibson, it is unfortunate that the ball gets drilled across the box from Camacho and comes off his shin bone and goes into the back of the net. That is unfortunate, but the fact that we didn't pick Camacho up in the first place is just poor defending, and he should never been in a situation where he just burst into our box with an opportunity to drill the ball across the goal. I've just said there, you've just got to keep your heads and don't let the game drift away from you off the back of a poor decision in the space of 5 or 10 minutes. We're now 2 down, and we're really up against it now.
Well, and
it's not been a bad performance.
No, it hasn't. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong in the last 5 minutes for Everton. Lewis Gibson's left foot. Fraser Hornby beaten in the air. Con Uzanides pumps the ball back towards Liverpool territory, but they pick the ball up again. Here's Camacho. Plays it down the right-hand channel and wins a throw-in.
Well, we've said it many a time, and when the score's 2-0, the big goal's the next one. If we get it, game on. If they get it, it could be a long evening here at Southport.
Just hope the game doesn't get away from us.
As I say, Darren, it's not been a bad
No,
performance. I
not at all.
mean,
They don't deserve to be 2 goals ahead, do they?
absolutely not a prayer. Dreadful decision from the referee for the penalty, and we've just we just shut off. Camacho gets down the byline, drills it back, and yes, it is unfortunate that Lewis deflects it into the back of the goal, but
We go again.
we've got to dig in. We've got to dig in.
Corey Whelan will take this throw in for Liverpool. Pops it into Solanke. Breaks for Camacho. Edge of the penalty area. Camacho gets a little nick off Uzunides. Play on, says the referee. Josh Bowler carries the fight to Liverpool down the left-hand side. Can he take the ball with him? Yes, he can. It's a brilliant run by Josh Bowler. Super run by Bowler, but then he didn't lift his head up, and the referee pulls it back and gives Everton a free kick anyway.
Yeah, he's a little bit unlucky there, Josh Bowler. I mean, he done terrifically. I mean, he drove 40, 50 yards, held off a couple of robust challenges, which the referee incidentally has pulled back for. We've got a free kick off the back of it, but just the ball that he went to play to Nathan Broadhead just was a little bit behind Nathan, and fortunately for us, the referee did bring the play back and give us the free kick.
Matty Foles will take it towards the back stick. Uzunides got to win
Chance.
it. Oh, someone's got to be in there, haven't they? Dominic Solanke touches the ball forward. David Hennon intercepts it for Everton. Plays it back to Foles. Foles back to Markello. Another chance, wasn't it? Half a chance.
Well, it was. I mean, there's another terrific ball in the box from Folds as well. I mean, Matty Folds he's put a couple of decent balls into the box, both from corners and from free kicks now, and big Con Uzunides is at the far post, and he does the right thing. He heads it straight back across the 6-yard box, but much to your disgust, Az, there was no one there to tap it in. But you're right as well, though, because you've got to smell the chance. There's only one place he was ever going to head that ball.
Yeah.
You've got to break your neck to get across defenders and try and get a chance on goal.
Free kick for Everton, which Matthias Hult will take. Fraser Hornby's pulled out to the right-hand side. Matthias Hult goes down the middle, and I didn't really see the point in that. Here's Alex Denny for the Toffees. Conor Grant just lofts it forward. Hornby will chase it down, but Danny Ward will get there quite comfortably. And you're right, Graham, it just hasn't been a bad performance, has it? We don't deserve to be 2 goals at all.
No, not at all. I mean, I wouldn't criticise the players' performance over the first 33, 34 minutes of this game. The only criticism I would have is that we just went to sleep a little bit for the second goal.
Oh, gone to sleep again there as Solanke wins the ball. Plays it to Curtis Jones, left-hand side of the penalty area. This time, Markello stands his ground. Herbie Kane. Looking for Camacho. Looks a dangerous customer, this boy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got plenty of pace about him, hasn't he?
He's a 1-2 with Solanke. Camacho goes for goal, and Matthias Hult smothers it quite comfortably.
But the downside is, if you're not watching this game, if you're not fortunate enough to be here and watch this game, you look at the scoreline and you think, oh, here we go again, Liverpool beating us, blah 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 blah. But the reality is totally and utterly different. It's been very, very unfortunate for us to be 2-0 down.
Masterson. Phillips. Kane again seeing a lot of the ball in that midfield area for Liverpool, and by and large has used it quite well. Here he is again, the number 6 who they signed from Bristol City. Always wants the ball, doesn't he, the Liverpool number 6, Herbie Kane?
I'd want the ball as well if no one was putting me under any pressure. I'd be more than happy to play in there, even at my age. Honestly, I just think, I'll be totally honest with you, I think it's possibly the easiest position on the park to play as a holding midfield player. Because if you have a team that's not prepared to pressure you, you're picking the ball up off centre halves and fullbacks, and it's a freebie every time you get the ball.
Here he is again. Masterson. Johnston. Now Ben Woodburn. The ball wide to Camacho. Back to Adam Lewis. He gives the ball straight to Nathan Broadhead, who rides a really strong challenge from Corey Whelan, and really well again there, Broadhead. Good ball as well from Conor Grant to David Hennon. Now 2-on-2. Herbie Kane making the advantage to Liverpool, but good play by David Hennon, just too high. Josh Bowler brings it into his left foot, drills it, keeper saves it.
I mean, that's really good work. Play. I mean, David Hennon, Nathan Broadhead initially, great little bit of skill. The ball gets played down the line to David Hennon, and that's perfect for him. He uses his pace down the left-hand side, cuts the ball back. It goes just over Fraser Hornby's head, breaks to Josh Bowler, and Josh hits a great shot. It cannons, bounces just in front of the keeper, and it cannons off his chest.
It could easily be 2-2, couldn't it?
Oh, without a doubt.
Rafael Camacho. Kane. On to Masterson. Wide to George Johnston. Back to Masterson again. Spreads it wide to Corey Whelan. And Nathan Broadhead on that occasion.
Well, we can't deny that one, can we?
He's from the Welsh area, and that was a bit of rugby in that one, wasn't there? More Gareth Edwards than Gareth Barry, that one. Here's Conor Grant. Forward to David Hennon. Here he is again, Nathan Broadhead. Forward to Conor Grant again. Little ball to Josh Bowler. Markello. Alex Denny. Takes a chance there. There's Herbie Kane again. And more space. Curtis Jones. Woodburn is wide on the left-hand side. Brings it in field, but Markello and Alex Denny combine to snuff out the danger.
Good defending that from Markello, because Woodburn's a tricky customer. When he gets one-on-one against you, and Markello stuck to his task there, defended it really well, aided and abetted by Alex Denny, as you mentioned.
10 minutes to go before half-time. We get a goal before half-time. This game's very much alive, isn't it?
Well, yeah, of course it is, and that's what I said before. You know, the third goal is going to be vitally important, and we've got to make sure it's us that gets it.
What does Umzi stay at half-time? Because his boys have done well.
Keep playing.
Keep going, haven't we?
Keep playing, get your chins up. You know, get yourself, whatever you've got to do, you know, to play well in over the next 45 minutes. Just get your head down and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep concentrating along the back there. Don't let any slop. We've got to make sure we can't let another third go in. It's as simple as that. So that'll be his message as well. Make sure we don't concede, because we'll create chances going forward. Uzunidis finds touch over on the far side. Everton 0, Liverpool 2. A Dominic Solanke penalty that should never have been given, and an own goal from Lewis Gibson that was quite unfortunate. What separates the two Merseyside rivals in this Premier League 2 mini derby. Liverpool, as we say, can still technically win this league. Alex Denny powering forward. Needs a bit of support now, though. He's got Conor Grant alongside him in the midfield area. Hugh Wrongfoot's Adam Lewis twice. Lays it wide to Nathan Broadhead. Conor Grant again. Back to Matty Foulds. It's a poor ball from Matty Foulds, and Rafael Camacho doesn't need a second invitation to scamper forward, and he plays it in field to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones on his left foot looking for Solanke. Good strong challenge by Uzunidis. George Johnston picks up the loose ball and tries to slide it wide to Woodburn, but Markello, who's done well in this first half, nicks it off him. Plays it in field to Josh Bowler. Bowler tries to slide it to David Hennon. David Hennon wouldn't have caught that even if he'd started his run. And Liverpool have got possession, but Ben Woodburn is down in a heap over on the far side, and yeah, he's
Matt
gone
Phillips
down.
Puts it out.
He's gone down under the challenge, just getting to his feet now, limping away. Ben Woodburn under the challenge of Markello, but there was no question that it was a fantastic challenge from Markello. I just think he may have just caught young Ben Woodburn, and he's feeling the effects of it, but certainly not a free kick.
It's a throw in for Everton on this near side. Players put the ball out too early, don't they, for these injuries? Ben Woodburn's back on his feet. He's limping because he's been tackled, but there's no physio on. Why kick the ball out? Yeah. I thought the directive from the referees was you put it out if I tell you to, and if I don't, carry on playing.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad idea, actually. That's the way it should be.
Alex Denny to David Hennon. Is this the moment? No, it's not. Overheads the pass.
See, there's your frustration with somebody like David Hennon. He's got ability, but he frustrates you along. You know, as much as he delights you, he frustrates you as well. Just that time there, overhitting the ball, and what was a real straightforward 5-yard ball for Josh Bowler on the right-hand side there. Simple.
The referee wants a word with Nat Phillips, the Liverpool captain. Wants to speak to Ben Woodburn. I'm not sure what that's all about. And I think, is the referee saying because Liverpool put the ball out, you've got to go off?
No, I think Ben Woodburn's given he thinks he's been fouled, Ben Woodburn. Right. He's been caught, and he's obviously given the referee a little bit of jip.
Right.
And I think the referee's called the captain over to try and calm the situation down. But if you're getting a load of jip off a play, you have to book him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't call the captain over and tell your mate to calm down, can you?
Tell your mate to stop breaking the rules of association football.
I don't want to book him.
Yeah. Oh dear, goal kick. Alex Denny wins it. Herbie Kane heads it back. It was Anidis wins it. Josh Bowler controls it inside the centre circle. Does well. Nathan Broadhead now. Can he get at Liverpool on this left-hand side? Infield he goes to Conor Grant. And it's a sloppy little flick from Conor Grant, but Nathan Broadhead makes the best of it and just runs out of space. And Conor Grant then wins it back. Camacho goes down very easily. And Everton are not using the ball well in the middle of the park at the moment.
No, we've gone through we're having a poor 10 minutes really, where we're giving the ball away unnecessarily. Got to do better in midfield areas.
Here's Josh Bowler. And, well, Fraser Holmby wanted the ball played earlier. He'd arced his run, but Josh Bowler just delayed slightly with the pass.
Yeah, well, we were right in line with that, and credit to the Liverpool back four there. They were right in line, they were pushing up, they knew what was happening. It was good defending from them, really.
Conor Masterson will take this free kick. The wind, the sea breeze starting to whip up.
Yeah, coming off the sea there, Daz. Yeah, yeah, I was looking at the forecast earlier. I think it's going to get a little bit lively tonight in terms of windiness.
I'd have my warming soup and a couple of sandwiches up in the boardroom at half-time tonight.
I'm sure you've already put your order in there.
David Hennon, infield to Broadhead, back to David Hennon. Oh, he's offside.
Not sure about that.
Oh, so annoying.
Oh, it was a good move.
Yeah, it was good football again.
Yeah, good chance that would have been there if David had made sure he'd stayed on side.
As well as David's only played for a while, isn't it? He's done well tonight.
Like I say, there's a lot of good stuff, and then he does something that you think, come on, David, that's so easy. The hard, you know, you're doing all the hard stuff well, and the easy stuff you're not concentrating.
Headed away by Matty Foles. Quick hello to my friend in New York who's watching at this very moment in time. Big Pete's watching in New York, so good afternoon. I think it'll probably be there, won't it?
Yeah, what are they, 5 hours behind New York? So mid-afternoon, early afternoon?
I'm sure there's quite a few USA toffees tuning in. We had the pleasure of their company a few weeks ago, Diamond.
Yes, we've had a good few of the USA toffees over the last week or so. Great to see them again. Great support from them as well. Always look forward to a little visit from our American friends, Daz.
And they're looking forward to a visit from us as well.
Yeah, is the chairman listening? 4 tickets to New York, please.
He might do, but he might just get us singles and leave us there.
Yeah.
Teach us a lesson.
Yeah.
Alex Denny to Fraser Hornby inside the centre circle. Finds Conor Grant. Again, Conor Grant's a little bit wasteful in possession with the ball. Curtis Jones, you don't want to see him on the ball, nor Ben Woodburn, who's inside the penalty area. Markello's got to be so careful here. And he does well, he stands his ground. And Liverpool get a corner, but Markello's dealt with the threat of Ben Woodburn quite well in this first half.
He actually has. You know, I've seen Markello a few times, and you know, you're looking at the development of the player, but certainly this is the best performance I've seen him produce, especially up against somebody like Ben.
Corner kick for Liverpool. This is not the time to concede a third goal, that's for sure. Everton have really stood toe-to-toe with Liverpool, more than given a good account of ourselves. And the referee wants the ball rolling back 3.5 inches so Liverpool can take the corner. It's a windy night, referee. Camacho with his right foot. It's a good delivery. It is a good delivery, cleared by Matty Foles, and thankfully nothing came of that, Graham, but Camacho will be quite rightly annoyed that nothing did.
Well, I would be if I'd put that kind
David
of
Hennon,
Come on, David.
all by himself, through on goal. David Hennon, he's trying to take it round a goalkeeper. He's run out of space, trying to curl it, and it's blocked. Picks it up on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Closed down by Herbie Kane. He's got Matty Foles in support. Crossed into the box. It's too high. It's over everybody, and we should have made more of that.
Well,
Graham.
that was an absolute golden chance for David Hennon. There's no doubt about it. He was clean through. I mean, he done very, very well initially to put pressure on the centre halves, and the ball broke to him. His first touch was that little bit heavy.
Yeah.
That was what done him, because he then tries to take the ball around Dan Ward. The Dan Ward, experienced goalkeeper, done very, very well to keep his angles acute. He'll be kicking himself, David Hennon there. That could have been the big moment. What a boost that would have been to go in at half-time, just a 1 goal down.
Going in 2-1 down would keep it alive, but I'll tell you what, it's still very much alive anyway, isn't it, the way we're playing at the moment?
Of course it is, yeah.
Good header from Gibson, helped on by Conor Grant. We've just got to stop being wasteful in the middle of the park there, haven't we?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Anzi thinks about, you know, making a change. I mean, I don't like to criticise players, especially young players, but, you know, Conor Grant's just, he's been poor on the ball, Conor.
Yeah, not like him either.
No, he's a good player, Conor, but he's just been really, really sleepy on the ball.
There will be 1 minute of added time here this evening in the first half, 1 minute of added time. So I was just about to ask you for your thoughts on the first half, Graham, but it's just a tale of misfortune, isn't it?
Well, I mean, in general play, there's nothing between the two sides. I mean, if anything, we've created the better chances, but Liverpool have been given a really, really soft penalty. We fall asleep. Camacho drives into the box, drills a low cross in, and it cannons off Lewis Gibson and goes in the back of our net, which pretty much summed up that fateful 5 minutes. But in general play, you could very much argue that we've been the better side.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Everton 0, Liverpool 2. And it's not, we are biased on the Everton YouTube channel, but it wasn't a penalty, was it?
No. Well, if anybody who sees that and tells me it's a penalty, please feel free to write in. Because that's a nonsense. The game's gone, totally and utterly gone if that's a penalty.
Up goes Nathan Broadhead. There's the half-time whistle. We'll be back for the second half, but here at the Merseyrail Community Stadium. Much better footballer than that first half display showed.
Well, he is, but he's had a frustrating 45 minutes, and he's paid the price. I mean, you've got to, you know, if we've all had off nights, there's no doubt about that. I've had plenty of them, but
I've seen a few of them.
Dad, you're supposed to, you know, I've got feelings, you know. I was just trying to be politically correct. No, in all seriousness, you know, Connor's not had the greatest evening. You pay the price. You can't be sentimental in this game. You've got a game to win, and Danny can come on and try and shine on this right-hand side. Josh Bowler's tucked into a more central position. And we'll see how it pans out this second half.
Well, Danny Bramall had a decent game at full-back against West Ham United, but he is primarily better utilised further up the field. Here's David Hennon, great footwork by Hennon, and a nice pass as well, and Josh Bowler just shows too much of it to George Johnston, and Liverpool can clear it away. Adam Lewis will chase that down and keep it in. Matty Foles is trying to get goal side. Lewis does well though and finds Camacho. Good early ball from Camacho, but it's over everybody, and Danny Bramall's first involvement is to kick the ball long, but he didn't really need to do that, but he's won us a throw in anyway.
Yeah, we've got a throw in anyway, but I thought Danny was a little bit headstrong there. He could have just let the ball run out and relax a little bit, but perhaps he wasn't certain whether there'd been a deflection or something. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Interesting to see how Josh Bowler does in the midfield area, because he'll be more congested than he's used to, isn't he? He is a wide player who likes to hug the wide positions.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's quite refreshing actually to come in and tuck in and feel like you're more involved in the game, because if the game can easily pass you by if you're a wide man, and you're reliant on other people getting the ball out to you, and then the minute you tuck in to try and get yourself involved, you get accused of not giving us the width. Yeah. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Fully paid up member of the Wingers Union.
Correct.
Connor Masterson drills the ball forward. Danny Bramall
well left.
Tries to control it. I think it came off Danny Bramall, and it did. It's a throw in for Liverpool.
No chance of the referee not giving it our way, was there?
No. Not one person in the boardroom at half-time thought that was a penalty, did they?
Yeah, much to a lot of people's disgust, that penalty was given. There was a slight touch, I'll concede that, but not enough to award
But if
a
you're going to
penalty.
give a penalty for that, you're going to have to give a penalty from every single corner kick, aren't you?
Of course you are, yeah. I mean,
where the physical contact is just outrageous.
It's a poor decision from the referee, in my opinion, and most other people's. We can't all be wrong.
Herbie Kane gives it straight to Nathan Broadhead, and then he and Bowler leave it to each other. Bowler tidies it up and finds Alex Denny, and he drives forward. Tall, imposing midfield player. Has a turn, has a look up, plays it to Fraser Hornby, late back to Josh Bowler. Josh Bowler's first touch is excellent. He's inside the penalty area. Can he finish? Good save by the keeper. He did everything right, Josh Bowler. Everything right. And it was a really good save by the goalkeeper, Graham.
It was a good move from us as well. Alex Denny started it in the middle of the midfield there, and he plays the ball forward to Fraser Hornby, and he plays a lovely first-time touch off to Josh Bowler, who's perfect. And I like to see that, a midfield player driving forward. And he takes a couple of touches, gets it onto that favoured left foot, but it's a good height for the keeper. That would be the only criticism.
Eventually the corner kick is cleared, but Gibson picks it up for, Alex Denny picks it up for Everton. Now it's with Nathangelo Marcello. Danny Bramall wants it played forward, and he's quick, Danny Bramall. He picks it up on this right-hand side. He's got Curtis Jones in front of him. He's going to run at Curtis Jones, then he's going to whip it in with his left foot, and he wins Everton a corner kick, and we've started brightly again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a positive start from us. As you can imagine, I'm sure David Unsworth's had a few words. I'm sure, I don't think for 1 second David will be hugely upset with the performance.
Not at all.
He'll be very upset with the scoreline based on what we've done in that first half, but I'm sure if we give the lads a boost to get out there and really have a good go at Liverpool, that's all you can ask.
Yep. Corner kick for Everton from this left-hand side. Matty Foles curls it in. Oh, just needed a touch and didn't get it. And Danny Ward plucks it out the sky and rolls it out under onto Adam Lewis. Liverpool can launch a counter-attack, but good covering by Nathangelo Marcello. And that'll be a free kick for Everton. David Hennon upended by Nat Phillips, and really good covering by Nathangelo Marcello. He ran the full width of the pitch to be in the right position there, Graham.
He did defended very, very well. And as I said in the first half, by far and away the most impressive performance I've seen from Marcello since I've been watching him. played very, very well this evening.
Well, David Hennon is on the ground being spoken to by the referee to make sure he's okay, and I think he will be.
Yep. Come on, David, jump up, dust yourself down, get us back in this game.
Alex Denny. Folds. Chips it forward towards Fraser Hornby, headed away by Phillips, picked up by Broadhead, and Broadhead's pass dissects Fraser Hornby and David Hennon, and will be a goal kick for Liverpool.
Just a little bit of breakdown in communication there. Nathan Broadhead brought the ball down, and first time volley down the side there between Fraser Hornby and David Hennon, but David Hennon hadn't made the run, so it made the ball from Broadhead look poor. It wasn't a bad idea.
Goal kick from Ward just about reaches the Everton half of the field. Uzanidis wins the first header and the second, but not the third, and it's a little bit of pinball in the middle of the park before Uzanidis prods it back to Lewis Gibson, and he plays it back to Matthias Hult. One right in the face for Adam Lewis, and he's felt that one, and he's gone down.
I can't believe you're laughing, by the way. Scandalous.
He's got that right in the hooter.
I know, that is going to hurt, there's no doubt about it. The volley from about a yard away straight in the dish has to hurt.
Down he goes.
I can't believe you're laughing, Daz.
Well, in all seriousness, we do hope he's all right, but it's a cold night, the wind's freshening up, and he was no more than a yard away. He tried to stand bravely, didn't he? But the discomfort just got too much, and I think that timber.
I think that was the thing. He tried to shake it off, didn't he? Just went. Imagine that on a freezing cold night. Yeah. I don't think there's any recovery from that on a cold night.
Nothing worse. Nothing worse. Well, he's thankfully the boy is sitting up. There's a little bit of concern from the two medical staff, but I'm sure it's nothing more than very, very painful. Stung his chops. There's no sympathy in this game, is there?
No mates in this game, Daz.
Well, he's having the last laugh at the moment because his side are leading by 2-0 here at the Merseyrail Community Stadium, home of Southport Football Club. No lasting damage. Adam Lewis back to his feet.
Just looking to my right hand side there, Daz, in a break of play, and there's Snowden and John Doolan. They actually look like twins.
They do look like twins.
They've got the same haircut. They're both going grey rapidly.
Yeah, both look as if they've been painting the ceiling this afternoon.
Pair of them look like they can eat.
Long breaking ball forward. Chest pass by Ben Woodburn. Reaches Dominic Solanke. Good control by the Liverpool centre forward. Wide to Camacho on the right hand side. He's got Matty Foles backing away from him. Camacho goes for goal. Catches it cleanly enough, but it's straight down the throat of Matthias Hult. And you have to say it's a rare attempt on goal from Liverpool.
Yeah, they've been few and far between, haven't they? Camacho, who has looked lively, one of Liverpool's livelier players on the evening, cuts in from the right hand side, and it was a decent strike with his left peg, but straight into the arms of Matty. Nice and comfortable for him.
Johnston back to Masterson. Herbie Kane. Phillips. Masterson again. Liverpool will be content to do this, won't they? Just take the sting out of the game.
Well, yeah, I mean they can just relax and knock the ball around and try and retain possession, run the clock down.
Connor Zanidis left it for Matthias Hult, and I'm not sure that was the goalkeeper's ball, Diamond. It was well away from the goal, wasn't it?
That was, Con, he's only a young man. He's going to have to learn quickly at this level, but that was never, ever, ever going to Matthias Hult in the Everton goal. Fortunately got away with it, Big Con.
Curtis Jones, left-hand side. forward to Ben Woodburn, a little bit of space for Woodburn. He volleys the ball into the penalty area. Chance for Liverpool. Matthias Hull didn't get near it. Thankfully, he needed Camacho, and it was just old-fashioned up and under from Ben Woodburn.
Well, it
really paid dividends.
It was actually quite a clever ball from Ben Woodburn. Actually, it's the fact that he played it so early is what caused the confusion. And there was feathers everywhere as people running in there. I mean, I think it was Camacho coming in from the right-hand side. Really had a chance to put his head on that, actually.
Matthias Hull takes the goal kick. Phillips wins the first header. Lewis the second and Kane the third, but it's picked up by Danny Bramall. It's a poor ball by Danny Bramall. He gets a bit lucky that Camacho couldn't control it. David Hennon will attack the left flank, but it's well defended by Corey Whelan, who technically is still on loan at Yeovil, but because he didn't play at the weekend, he can play here tonight, which wasn't a rule I was aware of.
There's some rules flying around these days, isn't there? There really is. It's difficult just to keep up with them all.
Herbie Kane pings it wide towards George Johnston, but it's over the Liverpool fullback. It's out of play, and it's a throw-in for Everton on this near side. As long as it's 2-0, Diamond, we're still in with a hope. Yeah,
I mean, very much so. We started the half pretty well. Liverpool have come back into it, we have to say that. But again, I'm tiring of mentioning it. The next goal is the huge, important goal. If we can get it, we're in with a chance. If they get it, it's difficult for us to see. Yeah, pretty much game over, yeah.
Uzanides plays it back to Matthias Hull, who has to just rush to complete the clearance. Picked up by Danny Bramall. Gets his pocket picked though by Curtis Jones, who does really, really well. Play on, says the referee, and don't think there's much malice in that challenge. I think it was just the skill of Curtis Jones.
Yeah, it's good skill from the young man. You know, can't argue with that. Major, potentially a little bit risque for no real reason, to be totally honest with you, but
Kane, that's a good ball to George Johnson. It's a good first touch as well from Johnston, but once again Nathangelo Marcello is there for Everton. It'll be a corner kick for Liverpool, and we've had 57 minutes of this Merseyside derby, a Premier League 2 level, and Everton, as we've stressed on more than one occasion, are unfortunate to be 2 goals down. A penalty that was never a penalty, and an own goal from Lewis Gibbs sums up the misfortune that the Blues have suffered here at Southport. Here's Camacho. Gets the ball into the penalty, and it's a decent cross in as well. Matthias Hull elects to stay on his line and catches the ball safely.
Another good ball in from Camacho. I've been impressed with him. Very lively, whether it be on the left or the right hand side. Looks full of energy.
Fraser Hornby nods it down to Broadhead, back towards Hornby again. Foot up, was that from Hornby? Yes, it was. Mr. Barrow, I think, got that one just about right. And then Curtis Jones and Fraser Hornby square up to each other, and it all gets a little bit unnecessary. And that was a flare up from nowhere, really. And it looks like it's escalated. Really has escalated. Fraser Hornby's lost his temper completely.
And Fraser Hornby has totally lost the plot for a minute here.
Goodness knows what happened there. I don't think it'll be after the game we find out what happened there.
Well, I think the clash was initially between Curtis Jones, who's not really, looks like the kind of lad who's shy of saying something, and Fraser's not taken kindly to whatever's been said to him. Really and truly has lost his head.
Yeah. Well,
be interesting to see what the referee does. I'll be stunned if there's not a yellow card. Certainly for Fraser, I hate to say.
Just came from nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't take much for everybody to jump in anyway, does it? I don't mind that though.
No.
One in, all in.
Yeah, back your mates.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Barrow, I have some sympathy with Mr. Barrow on this occasion. He could probably do worse than just pull the 2 captains together and say, right, that's the end of it. I didn't see what happened, so I can't book anybody.
Interesting to see what happens here. I think Fraser's going to be a very fortunate man if he walks out away from this incident without a yellow card. He was certainly the aggressor.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Barrow has conferred with his 2 linesmen. There's a red card in his hand there, you know. From here, Dominic Solanke is going to be spoken to. And it was all just it's a yellow card for him.
I'm not quite sure. I didn't even know he was involved in it, to be totally true.
Fraser Hornby's going to be spoken to as well, and hopefully that'll just be a yellow card as well. And Dominic Solanke, well, why did he get involved? He must have run a long, long way to get involved in that, Dominic Solanke.
Well, Curtis Jones is now getting spoken to by the referee as well. He can't possibly get away without getting booked as well.
Well, there's another substitution for Everton, just to just to add to the confusion.
I tell you what, half of me thinks here the referee's got the two players mixed up. I think he's got Solanke and Curtis Jones mixed up. They're not totally dissimilar in appearance, are they?
Yeah. Well, Solanke's taking one for his mate there, isn't it? If that's the case. Masala Sambu is on and Nathan Broadhead is off, just to give Everton a bit more physicality in the final third. And Fraser Hornby's got to be careful now. And it will restart the free kick for Liverpool, but I think it'll be a while before we find out what happened there, Graham.
Yeah.
We haven't got the benefit of replays here, but it seemed to be verbal, didn't it, anyway?
Yeah,
so
I
we
think
probably
it was
still
definitely something that was said between the two players, which is why I can't understand Solanke being booked, because I didn't think he was involved in the incident whatsoever.
But he didn't protest too much either, did he?
No.
We'll find out in the fullness of time. Danny Bramall takes the throw in. Here's Masala Sambu. Wins the ball on this near side, but is then challenged by Ben Woodburn. And it's got the potential to get a bit tasty out there, hasn't it?
Well, nothing wrong with that. I don't mind it getting tasty, but you've got to keep your head. We do not need a numerical disadvantage if we're thinking of getting back into this game.
Here's Kane. Drills it forward, but Danny Bramall's there for Everton, but Ben Woodburn gets goal side, and again the loose ball, the deflection favours Liverpool. Curtis Jones on his right foot, but a good challenge comes in from Markello. Then Johnston finds Kane, back to Johnston again. And Conor Masterson will roll it all the way back to Danny Ward. He's had too much space, hasn't he, Herbie Kane, in the midfield area?
I'm just looking at it in, you know, certainly in that situation there, you've got Masala Sambu and Fraser Hornby pushed up front, and then there's a 40-yard gap to where our midfield players are. We're too deep.
Good win by Johnston. Ben Woodburn will get there before Kornuzanidis. Woodburn back to Johnston again. Inside the penalty area, Dominic Solanke. Brilliant clearance by Lewis Gibson. Super clearance by Lewis Gibson, because that had a goal written all over it for Liverpool. Woodburn's little flick finds Johnston. Back to Woodburn again. Back to Johnston again. They're toying with Everton at the moment, Liverpool. Kane slides it through. Look at that. That's too easy. Curtis Jones. Camacho pulls it wide. Well, Lewis Gibson performs heroics, but then we switch off, Graham.
Well, we did. I mean, it was a brilliant clearance from Lewis Gibson initially from a very sharp move down the left-hand side from Liverpool, and again we clear our lines, but only to lose the ball again, and they're back at us again. This time Curtis Jones breaks through and sets Camacho up, but his shot slices past our post. 2 get out of jail free cards we've just had in the space of 2 minutes.
Matthias Hull, right-footed towards this right-hand side. Strong header by Matt Phillips, picked up by Masala Sambu. And beats himself in the end.
Yeah, Josh Bowler just annoyed there with Masala Sambu. He does well, he holds the ball up, but then he runs towards Josh Bowler. All he's got to do is just to let the ball do the work, just play the ball to Josh Bowler and spin.
Throw for Liverpool, it's over Solanke. Woodburn just jumps into Kornuzanidis. That'll be a throw in for the Toffees on this near side. Danny Bramall will take it. Nathaniel Markello looks to have pushed a bit further forward, Graham. Has he swapped with Danny Bramall? Something as simple as that?
Perhaps he has, yeah. Looks like it, doesn't it?
In the midfield area. There's some strong challenges going in now in the mini derby. Woodburn volleys it forward. Kornuzanidis lets it bounce twice, then gets it under control, but I don't think he had as much space as he thought.
It's the dangerous moments for us now.
Yeah.
As Liverpool have got a bit between the teeth, they're moving the ball very, very quickly. There's a few players out there looking lively as well, so we've got...
Oh, Danny Bramall gives it straight to Dominic Solanke, tries to pull it back across the face of the goal, and David Hennon picks it up for Everton. Ball towards Fraser Hornby. He's got to do better than that, Fraser Hornby. Needs to hold on to the ball because the defence are under pressure. And Markello doesn't stand on ceremony, slams it to safety. And it'll be a throw-in for Liverpool on this near side. Woodburn. In goes Josh Bowler. Corner for Liverpool. Just got to stay strong.
Yeah, we've got to stay strong. Some dangerous moments for us, as we've mentioned, but just looking at that tactical change, it looks like David Unsworth has made and put Danny Bramall on the to right back, and Markello just in front of him, just to maybe shore up this left-hand side, which is where the threat has come from Liverpool over this last 5 or so minutes.
Corner kick for Liverpool. They already lead by 2-0. Camacho swings it in, but that'll drift out of play on the far side. That'll be a goal kick for Everton, who are still alive in this football match. Still 25 minutes to go here. 1 goal from Everton would make all the difference.
Well, after a decent opening few minutes of this second half, you have to concede that Liverpool were on top, but that didn't make any difference in the first half, did it? We were well on top, in my opinion, and Liverpool ended up 2-0. So let's hope it works for us too.
Jones gets past 2 players and then wins the free kick. Masterson finds Phillips. Phillips again, long raking ball forward, looking for Curtis Jones. In goes Uzanidis. Josh Bowler. He goes down that left-hand side, but a little nudge from Dominic Solanke, and I think he's got a bit of cramp, Josh Bowler.
You're allowed to have cramp after 67 minutes, Daz.
He's recovered from it quite quickly. Uzanidis just heads that one out, and we've got to try and get a foothold back into this game because they're running the show.
Yeah, we have. This is certainly Liverpool's best spell of the entire game.
Jones. Fouled by Josh Bowler. And he was spoken to by the referee.
Certainly Curtis Jones is a marked man out there at the moment.
Yeah. He's also just embarrassed himself, hasn't he? He's rolled around in mock agony, and then he's jumped up to argue with the referee. Then he's remembered that he's supposed to be injured, and he's gone back down again. Well, they learn the tricks young, don't they?
You'd like to think he's going to jump up. I mean, you know, there's no question it was a foul, and I'm sure it's hurt him a little bit, but I don't know what.
Wasn't that bad.
A couple of Liverpool players arguing. I think they're hugely disappointed that a yellow card's not been shown.
They will be. But they'll be gutted. They'll be surprised more than anything. Free kick for Liverpool. Curtis Jones can't take it, can he? Because he was writhing in agony a minute ago. In it comes from Lewis. It's a really good one. It just beats everybody, and there's a push in the back on Uzanidis, and it'll be a free kick for Everton. Both sides have produced some decent balls in from wide positions tonight, Greg.
Yeah, the delivery's actually been very good from wide areas from both sides. What'll be the first thing you do next time Curtis Jones got on the ball?
Yep.
Put him on his backside again, Daz? Because that's what I'd be doing.
Matthias Hild takes the goal kick. It's a free kick. Well, it's over everybody. Basala Sambu foraging away but can't win it. Lewis Gibson's underneath it and finds Matty Foles. Can't control it. It's a throw in for Liverpool and Everton are looking a little bit bedraggled now, Graham. It was an impressive opening hour or so to the game for Everton, but the last 10 or 15 certainly gone Liverpool's way.
We've lost our way. We've lost any rhythm that we had, aren't we? It's bitty now.
Yeah.
We just can't, as you mentioned earlier on, Darren, we can't get a foothold in the game and get some concerted pressure on this Liverpool side at all. They're dominating possession. They look like the side that's going to score the next goal.
They certainly do. It'd be no surprise. 20 minutes to go. Liverpool leading by 2-0, turning the screw, looking for a third. And Matthias Hult came for it and didn't get it. The danger is far from over. Matthias Hult missed it again, and the ball has gone into the back of the net. And Liverpool do lead 3-0. And that was a shambolic goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's at moments like this you're glad you haven't got any replays, because you would not want to be watching that again. It's catastrophic defending, really.
Actually, don't know who got the last touch.
I actually think it was Nat Phillips,
yeah,
captain, who got the last touch. But you can't say it hasn't been coming, that goal. But the way it's come about is hugely disappointing. I mean, it really is a comedy of errors. Schoolboy defending.
Yeah, Nat Phillips got the last touch, but that was how much is schoolboy defending? And Liverpool are going to bring on a substitute. Ben Woodburn is being withdrawn, and Adekanu is coming on for Liverpool. There's no way back now in the last 18 minutes or so, Graham, I wouldn't have thought, for Everton.
Well, we've got to make sure it doesn't get any worse.
Yeah. Here's Adekanu on this near side, and challenge comes in from Markello. Be a throw in for Liverpool. Johnston takes it. Uzanitas heads it away, helped on by Bramall. Alex Denny forward to Salah Sambu, lays it off to David Hennon, but Liverpool are just first to every single loose ball here at Southport, and I fear this could get worse instead of better for Everton.
Yeah, unfortunately I have to concur with your way of thinking, Daz, because they're just sharper, they're moving the ball quicker.
Here they go again. Adekanu is in round the back on the left-hand side. Cross to the far post. Dominic Solanke can't get there. Well defended by Matty Foles, and it's a free kick against Adam Lewis on David Hennon on the edge of the penalty area. But we were undone again on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the switch to having Danny Bramall at right back is working, to be totally honest with you. I think Markello was doing okay at right back. I personally would put him right back there again, excuse the pun.
Well, he seems to be.
He's playing in the more central midfield midfield area now.
Well, David Hennon is just being treated, but three hugely disappointing goals for various reasons, Diamond.
Yeah, you're quite right. The first goal is never a penalty. We've said that numerous times so far. We're still more than a little upset about that decision going against us. The second one, we fell asleep at the back, and yes, we're unfortunate with the ricochet off Lewis Gibson as an own goal. But the third goal is inexcusable, and it's really poor defending. As we said, schoolboy defending, which you just can't afford to have at this kind of level. At any level, in fact.
David Hennon is limping off over on the far side, and Everton have got just over a quarter of an hour to go here at the Merseyrail Community Stadium, Southport. Last home game of the season. A campaign which is it's had fits and starts, highs and lows for Everton this season, and it was always going to be difficult, Graham, because the team that won the league is no longer here. They're either with the first team or they're out on loan. Yeah,
and they're the decisions that have had to be made. They've done for the right reasons. You know, you look at the Kieran Dowells, the Liam Walshes, etc., who are, you know, the stalwarts really of the under-23 side. But for their personal development, they've needed to go elsewhere. So you can't look at oh, we want to retain the league, and that's got to be your first priority. Your priority is developing players. And we hope that Kieran comes back from Nottingham Forest next season and ready to really make strides and try and push for a first-team place on a regular basis, because there's no doubt in his ability. But I think the experience of going out and playing first-team football on a regular basis will have done him the world of good.
The referee needs to speak to Rafael Camacho there for a blatant push on Lewis Gibson. It could have been a bit more dangerous than it was. Up goes Fraser Hornby, wins it in the air. Masala Sambu can't get goal side. Picked up by Alex Denny. Touches it wide to Josh Bowler. Bowler's got Herbie Kane in front of him. He's penned in a little bit there. That's another free kick. Curtis Jones puts Josh Bowler on the seat of his pants, and I think Curtis Jones has been looking to do that for quite some time. I'm sure his coach will appreciate where he's done it.
Well, he's trying to exact a little bit of revenge for some of the tackles that have come his way, but it's a great opportunity right on the byline for Matty Foles to whip in what we hope is going to be a decent ball into the box, as it's certainly a good opportunity to test the goalkeeper.
Well, Liverpool have had their moments in this game and are on top at the moment, but Everton do deserve at least a consolation from the overall picture. Oh, Matty Foles, goodness me. Well, I can't. Don't mind putting a bit of pace on it, but it's got to be on the floor, hasn't it?
I mean, I can't. I mean, Matty's got a lovely left foot, and he's put some terrific balls in, but I don't understand that ball. I really, really don't. You're 25 yards from goal, on the byline, and he's fizzed it as if he's taken a corner. No one was ever getting that.
No. Goal kick for Liverpool. Herbie Kane. Under a bit of pressure from Markello, who is now centre forward. He's a versatile chap, isn't he? Lewis Gibson gives Curtis Jones a whack. Then he gives Dominic Solanke a whack, but Solanke keeps going and takes a good shot. It's a good save. Good passage of football. Good play by Solanke and a very good save from Matthias Holt. Yeah, powerful play from the big Liverpool centre forward. Solanke gets it out his feet. He's got one thought in his mind. He could have slid Camacho in on the right-hand side, but as centre forwards do, they see the whites of the goals, and he takes a pot shot. Good strike and an equally good save from Matthias Holt. Corner kick for Liverpool. Lewis will take it with his left foot. Big guns are back from the Liverpool defensive forward. And it comes from Lewis, headed away by Fraser Hornby. Diverted back towards goal by Kane. Nat Phillips has already scored one. And Adam Lewis, who is the set-piece expert, gets that one totally and utterly wrong. I can't put it any better myself, Dad. It was nearly that bad. It nearly went out for a throw. Yeah. Makes an absolute pig's ear of it. As it happens, it has just about gone out for a goal kick. 12 minutes to go. Everton at 0, Liverpool 3. Yeah, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. I think David will be disappointed with the second half performance. Fraser Hornby beaten in the air by Masterson. Here's Solanke to Curtis Jones. Throw in for Everton on this near side. It's Konu Zanidis. Just throws somebody's boot. Not sure whose boot that was. He threw a boot into over the advertising hoardings, didn't he? Well, there wasn't a human on it anyway, so that's one bonus ball, but somebody's got yeah, there was no foot in it. Good challenge now, David Hennon. A little bit of grass in front of him to run into. Can he get to the byline? No, he has to check and pull it back to Nathangelo Markello. He brings the ball in field, lays it off to Fraser Hornby. Hornby has a look up and places it wide to Danny Bramall. Bramall's got Josh Bowler in support, but he might fancy taking on the full-back himself, Danny Bramall, and he falls over. No, it hasn't been our half, has it, that's for sure. No. I think our best period of this second half was probably the first 5 or 6 minutes. Yep. Other than that, you'd have to concede it's been all Liverpool. 11 minutes gone. Sorry, 11 minutes to go at the end of this game, and it's drifted away from Everton in this second period. Even at 2-0, the way Everton were playing in the first half, you sensed there was still an opportunity to get something from this football match, but unfortunately it's all been unravelled in the second period, and the sloppiness of some of Everton's play absolutely summed up to perfection in the manner that the third goal bounced around in the penalty area before being steered over the line by Nat Phillips. It's a lovely message from our kit man. Jimmy Martin apparently is listening to the commentary.
Well, he's listening to the commentary. His wife's obviously watching Coronation Street and what have you, and she's obviously bored of Jimmy and sent him packing into a different room.
Well, it must be his wife who set the computer up and got him on YouTube. Well, he wouldn't have a clue.
He can't open a tin of beans, Jimmy. And he's abusing us, saying he's nearly fallen asleep listening to our commentary.
He's normally asleep by now anyway, isn't he? Away goes Camacho down the right-hand side, but good covering by Nathaniel Marcello, who's had a good game.
Been one of the better ones tonight, Marcello. Alex Denny's done all right. He's a young man.
Yeah.
Good size. Travels with the ball well, neat and tidy. I think he's done all right for a young man. Josh Bowler's shown fits and starts when he's managed to get on the ball in dangerous areas. He's looked the pick of the forward men.
Here's Camacho again. Just manages to keep the ball in on the far side, but Marcello brings it away. Basala Sambu pushes the ball forward, pushes it too far, and then just tries to bulldoze his way through. It's a high up and under from George Johnston. Matty Foles gets his head on it. So does David Hennon. Here's Marcello. Plays a good ball forward. It's a great ball. Basala Sambu trying to get through by himself. Basala Sambu, and he has done. It's a really good finish by Basala Sambu. Nothing less than Everton deserve over the whole picture, but it was a really clever ball by Nathaniel Marcello, and I thought Basala Sambu should have hit it first time, but what do I know? It was a good finish.
Yeah, I mean there was certainly that option, and Marcello played a good diagonal ball, and Basala Sambu had just peeled off the back of Masterson and Nat Phillips, and I think you're right, Daz. He could easily, as the ball dropped over his shoulder, he could have easily hit it first time. He chose to take him on, and they haven't really covered themselves in glory defensively there, Liverpool, but take nothing away from Basala. Lovely little bit of skill. Through the legs of the keeper, I believe, as well, or underneath the keeper. 3-1, you never know.
Who's an Edis?
The comeback is on, Daz.
One night in Southport. They've been writing plays about this for years. Coming back from 3 goals down. Here's Alex Denny. Back it goes to Matthias Hult, and Matthias Hult places it forward towards Sambu, headed away by Phillips. It's over Curtis Jones. Usanidis allows it to bounce. Curtis Jones finds substitute Adekune. It was a poor ball in. Big Con's got to attack those, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean that's just decisions that experience it. You know, over a period of time, playing on a regular basis, he'll learn to make those decisions and make the correct ones. But he just let the ball bounce. There was a little bit of a doubt in his mind. As the rain teams down, Daz, as well.
Sunny Southport. What happened to sunny Southport?
That's the rest of the week.
Curtis Jones on this left-hand side for Liverpool, carrying the ball forward. He invites Adekune to run into the channel and pick it up. Adekune does just exactly that. Plays it back to Curtis Jones. A little bit of intricate footwork, or lovely bit of skill by Curtis Jones. He's done Danny Bramall a kipper, but that man Nathaniel Marcello won't be beaten. And he just touches it past Jones, and a sheer determination to try and get there first. And it's a throw-in eventually for Liverpool.
Well, there's no doubting that Curtis Jones is a talented boy. He's got a little bit of a, what should we say, he's got a little bit of an attitude towards him as well, a little bit of arrogance about him. That's probably why he gets lumped up in the air most of the time, but no doubting that he is a talented boy.
Good player. Rafael Camacho is to be replaced by Liam Miller, the Liverpool number 14. Interesting character, this boy Liam Miller. He is an international footballer, Diamond.
Yes.
Liverpool number 14.
And that, again,
for Canada.
It's not bad if you've got somebody like him to come on, because he knows where the back of the net is as well.
Canadian international Liam Miller. Corey Whelan. Wide to Lewis. 6 minutes to go. Lewis again gets the forward ball wrong. we could just nick another one here. Make the
Oh,
last
do you know
5
what?
minutes interesting.
I was,
Graham,
just, I
wouldn't
was
it?
just thinking that. Wouldn't it be great if we could just nick one from somewhere? Like the referee decided to even it up on the penalty shouts or something like that. Just to make it a little bit interesting.
Goal kick, Matthias Hull rushes back into his 6-yard box. He'll propel the ball straight down the middle. John Ebrels at the side of the pitch, barking instructions out to the players. He knows that one Everton goal and it could be game on here. Is that a foul? Yes, it is. On David Hennon from Corey Whelan. And then Nathangelo Marcello tries to dispossess Corey Whelan, who
the referee just book him.
stands his ground.
Just book the player. He's blatantly obstructing us taking a free kick. He then kicks the ball away.
Is it? Yeah. Free
Come
kick.
on, Matty. Put
Matty
a decent ball in.
Fools. 4.5 minutes to go. Matty Fools.
Great
Curls
ball.
it in. Oh,
It's a
needed
goal
attacking.
ball. Oh,
Needed attacking, didn't it?
somebody's got to be on that. It's a great ball in the box, that. Held up with a little bit of wind as well, coming off the sea there, Daz. Great opportunity that was. I want to see a bit more desire to get on the ball.
The strikers know where it's going, don't they? You've got to gamble at least.
Of course you have. That was the perfect ball. The goalkeeper could not come for it. And not one of our blue shirts has really gone in with any authority to try and score the goal.
It remains Everton 1, Liverpool 3.
Getting Jimmy Martin's on his Horlicks now, Daz. Pipe and slippers and a glass of Horlicks.
He'll be looking for his slippers. Gibson. Good ball forward. Will that reach Basala Sambu? Yes, it will. Basala Sambu through on goal.
Oh, that's
and
the
he
moment.
hits it over the bar, and that could have been the game-changing moment. It could have been a game we spoke about for years.
Well, again, great
Bounced up
opportunity. And
badly,
it's just a long diagonal ball that's yet again caused Liverpool's back four problems. Basala Sambu gets onto it. It's onto his slightly weaker left-hand side. And he slices it high and wide. And really, you just got to try and hit the target and pray.
3 minutes to go. The deficit remains 2 goals. Up goes Alex Denny, heads it square to David Hennon. He knocks it forward. Fraser Hornby tries to win it. Headed away by Masterson. Little touch by Solanke to Curtis Jones, and they have 2 bites at him, and eventually Danny Bramall defends it really, really well. Did smash him there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did in the end.
That's a good ball as well. Forward towards Fraser Hornby. Masterson's got his arms all over him. Hornby does well, holds it up nicely, gives it to Josh Bowler. Josh Bowler frightens the life out of him, goes for goal and wasn't far away. And the referee's going to have a word with somebody or other. Connors and Eden. Somebody from Liverpool will speak to him. Because he'll only spoil it for himself long run, won't he? Make yourself a marked man.
Yeah.
You're good, son, but you're not that good. He's still going. He's still rabbiting on. Hooked away by Bramall. Picked up by Jones again. Back to the substitute Miller. Miller gets it into the penalty area. Pulls it back across the face of the goal. It's cleared by Gibson. Here's Josh Bowler. Towards David Hennon. David Hennon's beaten to it by Corey Whelan. Headed forward towards Basala Sambu, who gets a nudge in the back off Nat Phillips, and that'll be a free kick.
Here we go again. Curtis Jones and
again.
Konu Zanidis.
I think Uzanidis is doing the right thing. He's just laughing at him.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me, you know, if there's a little bit of afters in the dressing room after this, you know.
Don't mind that, do we?
No, I'll be right behind Snobs.
Headed away. Picked up by Nathangelo Marcello. Dispossessed by Lewis now. Chance for Liverpool to break here. Threads it forward towards Miller. Danny Bramall is quick and gets there. And Matthias Hult gets a touch fortunate if that finds a blue jersey. Followed by Matty Foles, and he just drifted offside. Did Basala Sambu. Thoughts on the game, Diamond? It's been a better game than the Premier League one, hasn't it?
Well, it has. There's been a few goals for a start. 3 of them in the wrong end from our perspective, but I think all in all, it would be very, very hard to criticise our first half performance, and the fact that we were 2 goals down was a real kick in the teeth for the players. But that said, Liverpool have been the better side in the second half, albeit we've rallied towards the end with a goal. So Unfortunate, but we're going to have to take another one on the chin against these Reds.
Nathaniel Markello, the pick of the Everton players on the night?
Yeah, Markello, I think he's done well, Markello. Stuck to his task, whether it be on the right-hand side, where more centrally. I think the boy on the ball now, Alex Denny's, done himself no harm whatsoever. Josh Bowler, again, when he's had the opportunity, has tried to get at the Liverpool back four and been positive. So those three players for me.
5 minutes of added time. If only Basala Sambu could have found the back of the net with that opportunity, they would have been really rattled in these last 5 minutes. Markello, Denny to Uzanides. Long ball forward from Uzanides, but it's well covered by Corey Whelan. Kane in field to Jones. Lays it off to Johnston. Here's Miller. And he's got pace on the boy Miller. He's going to test out Danny Bramall, who's also quick, and Danny Bramall defends it really well. He's done okay, hasn't he, the last 10 minutes, little Danny?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a natural position for him, but certainly if somebody's going to take him on for pace, he's not going to be short of that. He's not going to be left wanting. But predominantly he's a right midfield player, really, Danny.
Powered away by Phillips. And Gibson's got to deal with this because Solanke's breathing down his neck, and that was all Gibson could do, really. Hook it to safety on the far side. And Everton's home campaign ends in disappointment.
Well, they've just got to run the clock down, haven't they? Liverpool, they're playing the percentages, they're playing the ball down the channels and picking up the free kicks and the loose balls. So, unfortunately, Daz, we're just running out of time to try and get anything out of this game.
Solanke. Takes a whack off. Markello over on the far side. That'll be a free kick for Liverpool. Feisty at times, hasn't it?
Yeah, like we said, though, we don't mind a bit of that. A little bit of feistiness. That's what's missing from the modern day game, Daz, I think. Everyone's too nice to each other these days.
That's obstruction for me, that. I hate seeing that. Players just protecting the ball in the corner by the corner flag. It's one of the bugbearers for me, that.
Oh, here we go again.
It's gone off again. Not quite sure who's involved over there on the far side. I think Nathaniel Markello's involved. Just as we were saying, it was a bit feisty. And the player furthest away from the melee, thankfully, is Curtis Jones. We can't pin that one on him. And the referee takes well, I hope he takes a sensible approach. 2.5 minutes into stoppage time. Yeah, penultimate game of the season. Merseyside derby.
No, I don't think you're going to get... Not really gaining anything by booking anybody or sending anybody off now, are you?
Well, he's going to book somebody. I think it's going to be...
like Markello, doesn't it?